Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Speak Your Piece. I am so excited tonight. I also got to let you know that this episode is always being powered by Above and Beyond Treatment Facility located at 2942 West Lake Street. And it's a facility where if you or someone you know needs help, they are there to provide it. Also, this is one of the days, it's one of those days that I am truly feeling excited about my guest and the topic at hand. But I'm going to introduce my guest. First, I'm going to start over here to my left. I'm going to start with Mr. Mac. So, Mac, tell us who you are.
I'm Mac Thirus. I'm a retired educator. I taught 21 plus 21 years at the Juvenile Detention Center with the Chicago Public Schools, and the school was Nancy B. Jefferson. I was promoted to the school disciplinarian. I held that job for 8.5 years, and so I retired as a juvenile.
I have to say, this is one of the gentlemen that I have learned so much about being and having empathy for people and stepping outside of myself. I've learned that from Mac. He's a very patient man, and he's a very helpful person. And we're going to get more into it. So now we're going to introduce the gentleman to my left. To my right, I mean.
My name is Darryl Phillips. I'm a retired Cook County youth officer. Right now, I am running a program in the Harvey School District, Thornton District 205, called Alternative to Suspension. And we also started a chapter with Moms Demand Action, which I forgot to tell you about.
Okay.
Me and myself and another gentleman named Derek Atchison, we are the co-leads for the Southland chapter, and we're Southeast, which covers all the South suburbs. So we are working tirelessly for gun violence prevention in the area.
And the reason I asked these gentlemen to come out tonight is because I'm concerned about our youth. It's so much topics of things that our youth are doing, burglaries, drive-by shootings, just a gamut of different things, these waves that they go out and they come and they just take over neighborhoods and take over downtown. And no one really has the answer to how this is being addressed. Also, I don't want to blame the youth completely because some of it and a lot of it is societal problems. So with saying that, this is why I asked these gentlemen to come out and give their perspective, because I know that they have an in-depth view on our youth because they have worked with them one-on-one and seen some lives turned around. And that's what we want for our youth, for their lives to be changed and saved from different death, jails, and institutions. And that's what we want to deter our youth from. I want to go back to my right. So can you tell us more about your program?
This is a pilot program we started this year. We spoke to the school board. We told them we just want to be in the school, no money, no finances. They let us come in. And it was set for problem students. So we ended up working with the Harvey Police Department, Detective Sandra Baptist, who's their youth officer, to get referrals. So we had gun violence victims from the city that were at the school. And we were say, hey, we have this child, take them in your program. So we took them in, we mentored them, and we learned more about them. And we found out that their behavior was set from lack of parenting. One of the biggest things that we deal with are hungry kids at the school that don't eat.
Okay.
So if you hungry, how are you going to learn and want somebody to teach you? So we started bringing food. Having food available throughout the day, getting a program to make sandwiches. The culinary students at Thornton would bake bread, bake cinnamon rolls, and we pass them out to the kids just so they would eat.
I want to say something on that. I don't know if I have told y'all, but this program is being sponsored by Above and Beyond, which is a treatment facility.
Okay.
And that's one of the first things that they do in the morning. They have breakfast for people that seek and recover because you're not focused.
Yes.
You worried about where you're getting your next meal from. You cannot get the information that's given to you. So as young as our youth and our teens, the meal is the most important part of it. To start to even get the information to them. Mac, I want to ask you a question about how the institutions deal with children coming in. How do they assess them?
Well, basically, at the Juvenile Detention Center, when I worked there, we assessed the student by look at what they did in the past in terms of the school work. And the reason why they were there, again, and they may have been accused of murder, robbery, drugs, etc., etc. A lot of the kids that came there, or is there now, is because they're special ed students, and some of them were not special ed students. So we had to gauge them, meet them where they are. Then once we assess those students and look at the process that they made before coming there, we put them in a class, test them, and then, and as being the school disciplinarian, I had various programs, like mentorship programs. I had my philosophy was to use the eclectic approach because we had to understand where the student was, and we had to. It's like all hands being on deck. We use every means to change that behavior. That was our goal, to give them goals, to give them pearls of wisdom, mentoring. Talk about when I have kids come to my office and we sit down and we talk, and I always use the empathy part, not sympathy, but empathy, trying to put myself where they are, and the idea was to never judge that child.
Right. Darryl, you was talking about some students at your school, and you almost talked about that same approach. So how is your mentoring with the children? How do you connect with them?
We don't want to know what you know. We want to see what you don't know. That helps us. Because you can hide what you don't know. So now that we know what you don't know, we work on that. So we have students that don't know math, but they know money. So we have to put math in the form of money. We have some kids that don't work with phonics very well with spelling. So we go there. So you have a lot of students in high school that are reading the third, fourth grade levels, math the third grade levels, but they are learning in high school, and it's maybe a sixth grade level, but it's still too much for them. So why are these students, should they be interested in school? Because they don't know what's going on. The school can't dumb down the whole system for everybody. But we have to make our program fit where we can slowly show them what to do. So students may come in missing work, and they have programs to help them caught up to the work, but we ask them, are you learning anything? Because they don't, stuff that's in paper no more. It's all on computer.
Right.
Students know how to find the answer, but they don't know what the answer is or how to do the work.
How to do the work.
Nor
Okay.
does a parent. Some don't have parental guidance at home. So you don't have no guidance, no food at home, but you're supposed to do this work. And you come back to school
Right.
with your own attitude.
I'm not going to say what I want to say about that. You know, a lot of parents, single mothers, they doing double duty. You know, so they stretch to the limit. So they utilize their kids to be the cooks, the babysitters, the cleaners, the responsible person that's at home at the time. And sometimes that's overwhelming for kids. Then we got a lot of kids that's caught up in the crack epidemic and the heroin epidemic, and their parents are at home and they using. So these kids become the adult.
Yeah. And we have the COVID kids now.
Okay.
Remember, these kids in high school are the COVID kids. And we've had students in our program tell us, before COVID, one student told us, she said, no, I was taught with the teacher on the board, leaning over, showing me how to do it. Now I have teachers rushing through a lesson plan saying, well, if you need to come back, they have a 30-minute period after school. Come back 30 minutes. Well, after school, that don't help me now because I'm stuck and you're here, but I'm still back here. So teaching has changed as well. Students go to school. Students that are in school want to be there, even the bad ones. If it's for the food, the safety, because we have kids that walk the hall that shouldn't be there, but we know they're safer in the school than they are on the street.
Right.
So what are we supposed to do? Say, oh, no, you ain't going to class, get out of here? Or do we want to go to your funeral or go to some type of graduation where you maybe at a later time and help you see the light while you're inside these doors? So we have to do it that way. In our program, we can't discourage a kid. We have to work with each and every one. So we try to, everybody, we look like a family system in our program. And we have them mentor themselves, peer mentoring amongst each other first because they're at that level. And then we just moderate, and we don't say they were wrong. We just say, hey, you ever try this way, or what about this? We let them figure it out.
So it's all about teaching the kids on how to make wise choices. You know, I would have classes in my office about making wise choices, giving them alternative ways of giving them information how to make those choices, positive choices, and the consequences of the choices that they make. You know, and that and a lot of times I give examples on why you're here, and there's many reasons why they'll say why I'm here, and then I always ask the question, what part did you play in being here? That was my big question. What part did you play in being here? And I want you to be honest here. And some of them are honest. And
Well, let me ask you something about the resources that they have for these children today, which is really slim to none. They talk about the summer jobs. That's what, 8 weeks at best?
Yeah.
6, say, even if we stretch it out to 16 weeks. But it's 52 weeks in a year, right? Am I correct here? So we got these children, these teens, these young adults. We're talking about maybe from 16 to 25, right? Have y'all heard of any resources available to them that they can connect with, or where can they go?
In the Southland area, we reached out to the businesses, Homewood, so we went to Portillo's, Chick-fil-A, Home Depot, Menards, saying we got this group of kids. They was like, oh yeah, we're hiring. So me and the gentleman that works with me, we made job applications. A 4-page job application, a real job application. And we had a prep class with our after-school class for jobs. We went from the discipline to the ACT program to the jobs prep program. Then I was known as the job man. Hey, you got a job. I had 25 applications in 2 days.
How many jobs did you?
And we filled 3.
Okay.
But we had to
still.
tell the kids, like, hey, I got to use these applications to show you that these kids want to work. Now, the thing is, I had one girl, she was like, what type of job is it? She was like, I need motivation. I said, what about a paycheck? You know, they still want to be picky with what they could work. This is your first job. You know, I'm like, what about a paycheck? What about learning their responsibility? And a lot of them don't have that. Now, the kids in my program, they were in culinary. They just want a job. They don't care.
And the reason I'm asking, not just about job resources, mental health. What resources do you see
Well-
that's been here? Maybe you know resources that was taken away. They should be re-implemented. You know, I just want to know what was what, and I know you got insight on that. I'm talking about don't throw nobody up on the bus. There you go, Brad. Look, there you
But
go,
here,
Brad.
before that, I'll say this. What's going on now? Like at Harvey, at Thornton. So you have teachers. So each student, you know, you got your 7 teachers. You got a counselor. You got a dean. You got a behavioral specialist. I think that's it. Counselor, dean, behavior specialist. Yeah. So each student has the resources to go up the chain.
Okay.
You know, now, this only works with parental involvement. If we say we need you down here, Mr. Thirus, for your son, and you never come, your son is pushed to the bottom of the pile, and we just have to keep on
But
going.
see, that's a twofold. Now you just said that some of these kids don't eat, so we already know if they're not eating, most of the time the parent is not there. That's a clear indication, because most mothers or fathers gonna make sure that their family have what?
Food.
Food.
Now,
Right.
you know, there's so many different things that come with that. Like, we had one student, his mom's been battling cancer for years. Him and his sister have had no guidance whatsoever. But this boy knows how to find food in the school. He can tell you who got what. You know, he's a survivor. And I always tell myself, if it was ever apocalypse, I'm coming with you because you're going to find the food. You know, and like with the resources that we're going to talk about, one has to be real quick is vaping and drug is resources. Because we have a big problem with kids being high at the school. Drugs is marijuana is a big problem.
The gateway drug, as they say.
yes.
But it's more than the gateway drug now
Right.
because you don't know what they putting on this marijuana.
Exactly. I know they have the task program. That's a resource where kids can be involved with the task program. There's another program that I used to work hand in hand with, was the BUILD program, BILD. The BUILD program that started in the Nancy B. Jefferson School, in the Juvenile Detention Center, and they're going big and strong. And they had a lot of resources there for the kids that come out of the Juvenile Detention Center and kids on the street. And it's an excellent program. They wanted to hire me for that program, but I turned it because I was in a public school. But it's an excellent program, and they have counselors, social workers, just all kinds of resources in that particular program. And they have extended throughout Cook County that I know, and also the task program. And there are other programs out there, resources that
You know, I also noticed that social media is a big resource for children. Like I said, the young adults. I'm not going to say children, young adults. And they do a lot of things off of TikTok and Facebook, and it causes a lot of bullying and fighting and just craziness. I just think that it should be better monitored, the Facebook and the TikTok, because they get pulled in, and it's not real in some aspects, but for real in a whole lot of other.
It's a distraction in the school because they allow this, and we're trying to outlaw this in the school because they have the Chromebooks, but they can use their phone. But you'll see, walk in the classroom, you'll see a kid like this with his head down, just on his phone.
On his phone.
And that's the kid getting all F's.
Oh wow.
And I walk through the hall, and girls will sneak out the hall to do TikTok videos in the hallway.
I want to talk about this right quick. You know, I've been talking about this guy from Florida, and I like TikTok too, right? And I get a lot of information off of TikTok. But this young man, I cannot seem to locate it. Wait a minute, let me see. Well, anyway, it's a young man down in Florida, and he killed this rapper. And they are talking about him not getting the death penalty, but life in prison for his sweat equity and free slavery. And they giving out these giving these teens and young men these type of time just so that they can work in the penitentiaries. You know, this guy is guilty of what he did, but some of the young men that goes in getting these troubles are not. It's I don't know if the crime fits the time and what they taking from them.
They didn't give him a chance for rehabilitation.
No.
They just threw him under, at 17, just threw him under the bus.
Right. They just said he's young and that he's capable of working for the state of Florida for the rest of his life, and they want his sweat equity.
You know what? That's not a new thing. That's not nothing new. That's been going on a long time in the black community. You send young kids to jail. I remember reading, I can't think of this boy's name. They put him in an electric chair. He was 13 years old in the South. And these kinds of things that happened, and I think that happened in Florida.
In Florida, yeah.
And in Florida, you know, I mean, that's Florida.
That's the South.
That's the South.
The deep South.
You know, so those things.
But we connected with Disney World.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right. So that's not
No,
new.
but
I'm not saying that because it's not new. Something, you know, we should do something about that. You know, all hands on deck. You know, we have to prevent our students, our children. We have to do things, accentuate what we are doing to help our students, our youth. You know, and it's about the village. It's about the village. And when I say all hands on deck, it's the village.
Because I'm also concerned about, you know, they changing so many laws.
Yeah.
Taking us back, what they say, Jim Crow.
Yes, yeah.
Uncle Clarence, you know,
Clarence.
whichever one you want to pick.
Yeah.
Okay. The vote, the way they redistricting and the vote, will our youth be able to vote? I'm concerned about that.
They will be. But let's look at Illinois. We got the Safety Act. No bond. Judge decides if you either out or you don't. They let you out on circumstances.
Kim Foxx.
Right. Well, we got black legislators that did it. And well, let's go back to this. We have the black legislatures in Illinois. They determine most of the time if something is going to be passed or not. So we had the assault weapons ban. Everybody said it was great. We got it because the incident that happened in the suburb of, I can't think of where it is, on the 4th of July. So they passed the assault weapons ban. And they said, oh, it's going to make the state and city much safer. Well, the assault weapon isn't the main weapon used in our neighborhood. It's the handgun. we still having deaths daily. They may never have another shooting like that again.
And
we're affected by it, but they sell us on how great everything is.
But it's amazing to me. Most teenagers that I see are carrying guns.
Yes.
And I don't know how you can get a gun and can't get a loaf of bread. You know, it's no, here in Chicago, I haven't seen a gun manufacturing company. So how are these guns actually getting here? You know, how are they getting, they want to say they're going over in Indiana and buying them. You know, it's so many obstacles that these youth are faced with.
There are more guns
Can
in
you
this
show
country.
what you took off a kid today? I guess this came off a child today.
So I work with parents, and a grandmother called me and said she had found something, and she wanted me to take it away. So I went by the house today, and she said it's a BB gun. It's actually a Glock. It's a gun. It has a converter on it. It's inoperable, but
And what is a
It is-
converter?
it's an extended clip, and they put this device on the inside to change it, but it's broke. It's inoperable. If it was a fire bullet, it would explode in his face. But if you was to put it together and walk on the street, it looks like a real gun. And if he was caught with it, he would get charged with the real gun. He paid $200 for this. This is a 16-year-old boy. He paid $200 for it.
Because they feel like they have to protect themselves, and it's so much violence, you know.
Revenge.
Revenge
That's what he wanted.
and right, revenge
Revenge.
and bullying and scarism. You know, it's just so much going on. But you know, look how our time just inflated away, and I had so many more questions. That means that one day I got to get you two guys out here, and I really appreciate
No problem.
Matt coming out for me, Darryl coming out.
Thank
You know, this is a wide open conversation, and I think that I got the most that I can get from two professionals that's real close and connected to the youth today. Mac be talking, and he be thinking just everybody be like.
It's
Because they
wisdom.
know
It's wisdom.
that what he's telling and giving is
The truth.
the truth, you know, and it's uncut, unfiltered. You know, once again, I want to thank everybody. And also, again, thank you Above and Beyond, located at 2942 West Lake Street. And if you can start there by getting some help and some information. It's a boatload of information. They deal with harm reduction. That means they meet you where you at, and it's a circle of love. Keep coming back. This is memory. And remember, the life that you save just very well may be your own. Good night.